All right, guys, we found the cutest chair on our local classifieds. It's really old. What did the sign say? It's a Louis 15th chair, it says. I don't know. But it's really cute. It's got nice curvy lines. It'll go really great in Ellie's bedroom makeover. It is very, very wobbly. And of course, the fabric is torn and yuck anyway, but we are going to refinish this and you are going to love it.
In order to remove this fabric, first we need to remove the old tacks and the trim that is around it. So we're just going to use this painter's tool to kind of get behind the tacks and to pull them off. That one's being a little bit stubborn.
Top ones came off really good. Not kidding.
They did.
There we go.
Okay, I need pliers or something. There we go. Okay. Get going. It'll be a lot easier here. Let's see if these come. Ooh, that was pretty good.
It was.
Let's see if I can do it again. No. Once I was able to get all of the upholstery tacks off, I used the same tool to pull the little nails off that were holding the upholstery in place. We now have all of the fabric. We've taken off all of the tacks and all of the little nails that were holding the fabric on, and we are down to just the under, I'm not sure what you call this, we've got the burlap on the back and some sort of a cotton fabric here. We're probably going to need to take this off as well because this chair is loose. We need to tighten up the joints, so we're gonna have to take it apart a little bit more to glue the joints. We've decided that we need to remove this fabric as well, and so you can see there's little teeny nails holding it on. So I'm just gonna use this painter's tool to get underneath the nails and pop them off. And then we'll get down to what's underneath. We need to do this in order to figure out where we need to tighten the wood underneath. We've taken off that top layer that was being held down by that cotton fabric too. And under here we've got the springs, but this is revealed here where the wood's connected, and you can see where it's loose now. So we're just going to have to glue this and put some screws in that to tighten it up. But in the meantime, we're going to work on sanding off the finish. A lot of this finish has already been worn off, but we're just going to take a sander and just take the rest of the finish off and take it down and have a natural wood finish. We have now sanded the chair down as far as we wanted to take it. We've actually left some of the dark stain into the carved areas. And just to put a protective finish on it, we're going to just use a white wax. And we're using, not a white wax, excuse me, a clear wax. This is the Bare Clear Wax. And to do that, we're just gonna pick up some wax on a waxing brush, and then we're just going to work it into the wood. And this will form a nice protective coating on the wood, and it will leave that patina that we really like about this chair. To sturdy up this chair, we're going to put some wood glue in here between this joint that's come loose here. And then I have pre-drilled some holes down here, and we're going to just insert some screws and secure this back together. Once we had the chair all repaired and sturdied up, we put the burlap, stapled that back down and replaced the cotton batting that was on it. And if you remember when we took this apart, there was some foam on top of the batting and then the fabric, but the foam had literally just disintegrated and was just powder when we took it apart. So now I do have a piece of foam that I've cut, and it's just a 1-inch foam that we're going to put on the chair along with some batting. Okay, so I have cut a piece of foam to fit the top of the chair. And then I've cut just a piece of batting to go over the top, and I haven't cut it to really fit. I'll just trim it after I staple it on. Okay, we're just going to use this pneumatic staple gun. You could just use a regular heavy-duty staple gun as well, just to staple on this batting in a few places. Once I've stapled the front, I just flip the chair around and I'm going to tack a few in the back just to hold the batting down in the back. And you'll notice that I did cut a slit here to go past each sidebar here of the back of the chair. Now I'll just repeat that same process on the side of the chair, just tacking down the batting. And just repeat for the other side. So you can see that the batting is stapled all the way around now, and I'm just going to take some scissors and just trim that batting up to where the staples are. This is what we're going to actually upholster that beautiful chair in. Isn't this fun? Ellie really wanted a navy room with blush accents, and she really wanted some faux fur, and we thought it would be really fun to do something a little different and take a very traditional old vintage piece and add this fun element of the faux fur. Okay, so I have flipped over the faux fur, and we've got the nap of the faux fur hanging down. So we want on the seat, we want the nap to come this way on the seat. So I've taken the old fabric that we took off, and we're going to kind of use that as a pattern, and you can just see how holy this thing was. It was really in rough shape. So I'm just going to use this as a pattern. I will cut it about 3 to 4 inches larger than what the actual fabric is. I cut a slit where the fabric is going to fit around that back piece that hooks onto the leg. And when you're working with fur, you don't want to cut off these edges here. And so I actually used a craft knife to just make that slit, and then I just made a little V cut there, and I did that on each section that will go around that part of the back. I've placed the fur over the seat of the chair, and I've taken those areas where the slits were, and I have fit it around. You can see there's the slit around those two sections there that go up to the back. I'm now ready to staple down the fur, and you can see right here there's a little ridge where the wood is, and we want to get that staple as close to that ridge as we can. So I'm going to pull the fabric and take the nail gun or the staple gun and push it down so it's on that ridge, and then fire. And I will go across here. I will do 3 in the back and then 3 in the front to make sure everything is centered and tight before I go all the way around. Okay, there's our 3 in the back. Because this is fur and it's got this nap that's coming over, normally we would just pull it down and staple, but I don't want the fur to be caught in that staple. I still want it to be loose and hang over the staple. So I'm going to pull it back a little bit, then reach in there, feel where that edge is, and staple. And then when it's you let go of the fur, it's just going to hang over that edge. All right, so I'll just add a couple more here. Lift up the fur. One thing about working with fur to do upholstery is it's very forgiving. We use this on an ottoman and super easy to do. And if you're new to doing upholstery, try some fur because it is forgiving. Now that the front and back are done, I'm going to do the sides. Once again, I'm going to pull it down to that ridge where I want the staple to be. I'm going to lift up the fur and place about 3 staples on the side too. And then I will just repeat that on the other side. So to do this section here on the back, what I'm going to do is take that fabric that was cut and I'm just going to fold it over and put a staple there. Hold that. And then one right here. And then here on the side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to fold this back and I'm going to overlap it slightly on this one here. So let me pull that back so you can see. So this one comes across here. I'm going to overlap it a little bit and then place a staple right there to hold that. And just make sure I'm right down on that edge of the wood. I'll repeat the same thing on this side and then we'll just be filling in and doing the front corners. Now I'm ready to do the front corners, and so our goal is to put a staple right here in the center where it curves up. So we've got this nice feminine curve here on these chairs and we want to keep that. So I'm going to pull down and I've taken my fabric and kind of pulled from the corner. I'm going to feel where that little notch is that I want to. I'm going to pull up the fur so I don't staple in all that long fur. And then grab my gun and put a staple right. Whoops. Let's see if I can get it again. Okay, got my thumb on it. So I'm going to put one there. And then I'm just going to make little pleats. And so the line of this chair is you've got the one we put here, and then we're going to come down on each side. So I'm just going to make a little pleat with the fur, a little tuck there, pull it up, the fur, and put a staple right there. And then we'll have one more little tuck here. If you work with a fur that's not quite as nappy as this one, it'll be a little easier, but this is what Ellie loves. All right, so now I'm just gonna fill in a few in between there. But before I do that, I'm gonna do this side that goes to the front. So I need to put one right in this, whoops, can you see it right there in that area? So I'm just gonna fold. And I'm making my folds towards the corner. Okay, pull up the fur. Okay, and one more that will go right there. Okay, now I'll just fill in the staples in between, do the other corner, and then we'll be ready to trim. I've stapled all the way around the entire chair, and you can't see it with this fur, but what I'm going to do now is just brush all of the fur upward, because I don't want to trim this. I want to just trim what is below the staples. So I'm going to just push all of the fur up, and then trim off the fabric. And if you've worked with faux fur, you know that this is a messy job. Need to do some sweeping, some vacuuming. So what I'm gonna do is have it will look just like this. So we will have just the wood and the stapled edge of the fabric. So just go all the way around, pull it up, and trim as close as I can to the staples. I cut off all of the seat portion with scissors, and I just thought of a better way. So I'm just using a utility knife, and I'm just cutting the back side of the fabric. Probably help if you had a sharp one. I can't seem to find any more blades, but it's working, and it's a lot easier than the scissors. So, and then I can just pull it off the fur. I'm trying to get the scissors on that thick fur. We are down to the home stretch now. We've got all the fabric, excess fabric cut away from the chair, and our final step will be adding the cording. You want to start and stop the cording in an inconspicuous spot. So I have started it right down in the center back. Just used a little bit of hot glue. I'm gonna just secure the ends so they don't fray. And then I'm just gonna pull back the fur and put a little strand of glue right where the fur meets the edge of the wood, where that trim is, and just glue it down. And hot glue works fantastic for gluing down fabric trims and fabric. It just makes it super easy to do. So once again, just run a little thin bead of glue and press the trim in.
All right, we've got the chair in Ellie's room. We're gonna surprise her and see how she likes it. Okay, come on, Ellie. What do you think?
Awesome.
You love it?
Yeah.
Is it so soft and cozy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Gonna do lots of schoolwork right here?
Yeah.
And artwork?
And Aiden won't bug me anymore.
I hope not.
And it's huge.
Yes. Just what you need for all your art projects, huh?
I just wanted to show you some of the details of this cute chair, all finished. I love the legs and the fur on it. I think is so adorable. And I love that we used this jute, natural jute trim around the edges. And we did something maybe a little bit unexpected, but we left the back unfinished, just like a true deconstructed piece from Restoration Hardware. So let us know what you think about this cute chair.
Isn't this the cutest chair ever? It passed the Ellie test, so that works for me.
She was so excited about this chair. I love it.
Yeah, she wanted this faux fur and not pink. She's very specific. She doesn't like pink. She wanted blush. And this actually is blush, so we did it right.
We did. Thanks for watching another Sunnyside Design tutorial. If you like this, please follow us and tap the bell so you can receive notifications when we post new videos. You can also find information about this chair in our description and information about doing this project for yourself.
Also, in the links below, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We're everywhere. So thanks again, and as always here at Sunnyside Design, we hope to bring your home to the sunny side of the street.